Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of January 30, Thursday. I'm Riza Diaz. The DOH says the country's health centers are well equipped to handle possible cases of the novel coronavirus. But these are just precautionary measures, as officials explain that the patient under investigation who flatlined yesterday did not die of ncov. Shala Francisco has the details.
A 29-year-old Chinese national under investigation for the 2019 novel coronavirus has died at the San Lazaro Hospital Wednesday morning. The patient from Yunnan, China was admitted last Monday and died of pneumonia. The hospital confirmed that the patient was also HIV positive. His specimen is still being tested for the 2019 ncov.
The patient was seen with varying symptoms upon admission. Meron siyang mga cervical lesions, mga kulani, meron siyang lung findings na rin, then meron siyang basically payat yung pasyente.
Today, there are still no confirmed cases of the 2019 ncov in the country. Of the 27 persons under investigation or PUI, 4 have already been discharged. The health department is still confirming 2 new possible cases in Baguio. 2 OFWs from Wuhan, China also arrived in the country and are now under self-quarantine. 6 samples have been sent to Australia for testing, and the DOH is expecting to receive the results either on Thursday or Friday. But the agency assures the process of confirming test samples will be faster as they have acquired confirmatory test kits or primers.
Once the laboratory is set up, within 48 hours, they will be able to start running the tests for the 29 novel coronavirus here in the Philippines.
While the DOH clarifies that infection for the 2019 ncov is at a much slower rate compared to SARS and MERS-CoV, the virus is widespread.
So this necessitates that we change our risk because the potential for the virus to spread has been expanding, as you have seen with the numbers increasing.
The health agency has upgraded the border control on passengers by now considering travel not just to Wuhan, but to the whole Hubei province itself. The Bureau of Customs, for its part, is strictly inspecting the entry of animal products and even used clothes from China.
Human transmitted to, so right now we're very high on alert, especially on used clothing.
Shyla Francisco, We Are One News.
Here are some of the day's biggest stories. President Rodrigo Duterte has ordered government agencies to monitor all ports of entry into the country. This is to monitor the possible entry of novel coronavirus into Philippines. The chief executive admits that officials still do not know much about the virus that has been gripping parts of the whole world. That is why the DOH, as well as the Immigration and Customs Bureaus, are simply directed to employ stricter measures in checking persons arriving in the country.
We are preparing in all ports of entry. We have deployed almost all, yung regional pati national, sa port of entries, yung magpasok galing abroad. This is a mysterious disease, and we are just preparing maybe for the worst.
That being said, the president is still not issuing any travel bans on visitors coming from Wuhan and other parts of China. Duterte said the government is more focused on studying how to repatriate Filipino workers who are now stuck in Wuhan in light of the city's lockdown. The chief executive said he is just waiting for a go signal from Wuhan authorities before launching a rescue mission to Filipinos in the area. But the idea of completely banning flights from the center of the ncov spread is still not palatable to Duterte.
Not yet at this time. As a matter of fact, there is no known transmission from human to human na galing China. Mahirap yung sabihin mo you suspend everything because they are not also suspending theirs. And they continue to respect the freedom flights that we enjoy in their country.
As authorities take precaution against ncov, death toll from the virus in China has soared to 132, with over 6,000 people affected. Philippine Star reports that the new virus has reached more than 15 countries. Authorities have since imposed transport bans in around the city of Wuhan as part of quarantine efforts, leaving some 50 million people trapped. The Bureau of Customs has also stepped up monitoring amid the ncov outbreak. Filipino Star ngayon reports that the agency is keeping a close eye not only on shipments of animals but even second-hand clothes for apparel for ukay-ukay. Personnel in charge are advised to wear protective gear during their inspections to avoid infection. From the Freeman, Cebu City has been placed under a state of preparedness amid the virus scare. Public establishments are advised to adapt precautionary measures and disseminate correct information about the 2019 ncov. Separately, a Chinese consul general says barring Chinese tourists from entering Cebu may be a bit over the top as they themselves are already having a hard time leaving China because of the virus. The cruise ship that docked in Manila from Hong Kong was barred from heading to Subic. Its passengers, who are mostly Chinese, had no choice but to just visit tourist spots in Manila. Jen Kalimon has a report.
Hong Kong cruise ship MV World Dream was supposed to head for Subic on the evening of January 28, but it never left South Harbor in Manila. There's been an outcry from Olongapo residents resisting its arrival at the Subic Bay Free Port due to the novel coronavirus scare. But the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority stresses the residents' appeal has nothing to do with its own decision to disallow the cruise ship.
The Bureau of Immigration has already suspended the issuance of visas. So kahit po may gustong cruise ship na pumunta, yung mga pasahero po nito wala namang visa, hindi din po sila makakadating.
But the Bureau of Immigration clarifies passengers aboard the cruise ship already have visa prior to the suspension of VUAs. Left without a choice, passengers of MV World Dream, mostly Chinese and other nationalities, including 15 Filipinos, visited tourist spots in Manila instead.
I take some go Chinatown. Going some take buy some Chinese food.
They say Subic government not allow cruise ship to enter.
Why?
That one I'm not sure.
The Philippine Coast Guard assures the public that they inspected all foreign vessels entering the country in all of its ports.
Tiwala ako sa Bureau of Quarantine that they're doing their job and hindi tayo malulusutan.
MV World Dream has finally departed Manila at 6 p.m. Wednesday, flashing I Love Manila in its LED lights. Another cargo vessel from Jiangsu in China had also left the country. Reporting for News 5, Jen Kalimon, we are One News.
The Senate will now be looking into the issue of the Visiting Forces Agreement following President Duterte's call for its termination. But the hearing, lawmakers say, has nothing to do with their colleague Senator Bato's U.S. visas cancellation. Greg Gregorio has the story.
The Senate Committee on Foreign Relations has scheduled a public hearing on February 6 after President Duterte's warning to terminate the Visiting Forces Agreement between the Philippines and the United States. Committee Chair Coco Pimentel says the VFA, together with the Mutual Defense Treaty or MDT and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or the EDCA, will be up for review.
Ano na ang benefits na nakuha ng Pilipinas dito? What is the national interest at stake in these agreements? Is the national interest still present?
The hearing was agreed upon by 5 other committee members, including Senator Ronald De La Rosa, whose U.S. visa cancellation was seen as prompting the president's ire.
Meron kasing legislative oversight on the VFA at meron din VFA Commission. Malalaman na natin ngayon yan sa hearing kung smooth ang report nila.
Senator Richard Gordon said that treaties have to be taken properly in the Senate. He added that the Senate also has to take part if the president wants to abrogate a treaty.
Napakahalaga nitong agreement nito at baka siguro mainit lang ang ulo ng presidente. Dapat susunod na lamang kami dito. The Senate must assert itself as the third branch of government involving 3D making and all that other things.
But according to Pimentel, terminating a treaty is well within the president's powers, and that the senators can only recommend a course of action.
Meron pa mga ambiguities doon at gusto nating ipagpatuloy ang VFA, so that means it's an amendment. So we should start the process of initiating the amendment.
In the February 6th hearing, the Senate will consult with the Department of Justice and the National Security Council. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Ahead of that Senate hearing, the president already made it clear he was not joking about it. He's also skipping the US ASEAN summit. Here's why.
President Duterte has made up his mind to drop U.S. President Donald Trump's invitation to attend a special meeting with ASEAN leaders in America. According to Duterte, he also won't be sending in an official to represent him.
They do not want proxies there. That's what I've noticed when a head of state is absent. His chair remains empty. Nobody sits there. So wala siguro. Wala akong maituro na proxy ko.
The reason behind this? To wave off geopolitics. The president also said that he was dead serious about terminating the visiting forces agreement with the United States.
I am terminating. I was not joking. The day I said it was the day that I decided it should be terminated.
Duterte said his decision was prompted by the U.S. resolution placing a travel ban on select Philippine officials, specifically those that had a hand in the detention of opposition Senator Laila de Lima. It was not just because of Senator Bato de la Rosa's U.S. visa cancellation.
Sabi nila na it's subject to my whim, yung capriccio. No. It started when they mentioned about the resolution in the U.S. Senate. They were trying to figure out who would be the persons who will be barred from entering. Noon pa lang, yung utak ko gumagalaw na. Ganun ako eh. I just announced late. I will do it not only for De La Rosa but for every Filipino. O lalo na yung mga taga-gobyerno na magpunta doon supposedly to attend a business concern officially.
In retaliation, President Duterte also issued his own travel moratorium.
I will not allow any cabinet member to go there at this time. No cabinet member should be allowed to go to the United States, so that we limit our contact in whatever aspect of international relations would be discussed.
Amid the U.S. travel boycott, the president says the ball is now rolling in the termination process for the VFA that seemed to gravely affect Philippines' ties with its long-standing ally, America.
Some evacuees from Batangas have already gotten back on their feet thanks to the outpour of donations in their time of need. Marlene Alcaide has the report.
Bubut was so happy unloading this truck full of donations they've collected from the evacuation center.
Sa lahat ng nag-donate, maraming salamat po sa lahat.
69-year-old Tatay Jaime and Nanay Lucita are also thankful for those who helped and donated. They did not expect that the phreatic explosion of Taal volcano would pave way for them to receive an abundance of blessings. From having nothing to eat, they now have clothes, water, and food supply for at least 2 months.
Kami po iniligtas ng ating Panginoong Jesucristo at hindi po tinuluyan ang malaking pagputok ng bulkan. Kami nga po'y walang-wala ay nakinabang po tulad naming wawalay. Nabigyan po ng mga dilata, bigas at kung ano pa hong bagay binigay sa amin, wala po lamang pera.
One of the victims even shared online a photo of some of the relief goods his family received. In his caption, he thanked those who sent help. Because of the overflowing donations, he now has a sari-sari store.
Salamat po sa nag-donate. Nagkaroon po ako ng instant na negosyo. Nagbukas pa yung bago kong tindahan.
Dahil?
Sobra po talagang dami. Tapos nung pumunta po kami talaga doon, parang wala po kaming dala. Ito lang pong bag na to yung dala namin.
Sige nga, pakita mo.
Ito lang po yung bag namin dala. Nang pumunta po kami ng evacuation center.
Tapos pag uwi nyo?
Parang magpapa-okay na po kami. At magtatayo po ng swimming pool sa dami po ng dalang mineral water.
His post went viral. That's why he had to clarify that his post was just for fun and that he does not intend to sell the relief goods he had received.
Tayo po mga Batanggenyo, kilala po tayo sa bilang mapagbiro. Kahit po sabihin po natin ang mga Batanggenyo po ay may ingay at matatakaw bumarek, ay hindi naman po yung totoo at kami po ay masayahin lang.
Up to this day, his family has yet to open some of the boxes they were able to bring home. Christian said that despite his experience due to the unrest, he is grateful to those people who are compassionate enough to help people who suffered. It somehow alleviated their situation and showed that there are still good people willing to help.
Sa mga nag-donate po, sobrang salamat po sa inyo. Napatunayan po natin sa buong mundo kung gaano po tayo talaga ka-hospitable po ang pagiging Pilipino natin. At sa mga tutulong pa po, sobrang din pong salamat.
Local authorities, meanwhile, are happy seeing the things that the evacuees were able to bring home.
Sa part po namin, masaya po kami na nagampanan po ng gobyerno namin at nung mga taong katulong po namin ng mga volunteers, yung trabaho po namin na talaga pong mabigay sa mga tao, yung para sa kanila mismo. Kasi po dito sa amin, sa province, we do not centralize. Kung ano man po yung ibinibigay ng mga tao, hindi namin kinukup-kup lahat, tapos nire-repack namin, tapos kami yung nagre-distribute sa lahat ng mga evacuation centers. Ang policy po namin dito, kung may gusto pong individual or group or organization na gustong mag-donate, we advise na directly doon na nila dalhin sa evacuation centers at sila na po mismo yung mabigay. So kaya po yung mga tao po talaga, lahat sila nabibigyan.
And if ever some really end up selling some of the donations,
decision po nila kung yun po ba i-consume nila or kung ngayon po na sila ay nasa kanila ng mga tahanan, kung gusto nilang kainin sa bahay nila or kung gusto nilang ipagbenta, sa kanila na po yun.
For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Now over to some sports brush. Gilas Pilipinas got a new coach for the first window of the 2021 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. That's no other than two-time Olympian and current TNT coaching consultant Mark Dickel. Coach Mark is credited for helping the Katropa end their 5-conference finals drought just last year. Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chairman Emeritus Manny Pangilinan says they want to hit the ground running for the qualifiers, which is why they appointed someone who can, quote, move things very quickly. Dickel will be coaching 3 familiar TNT faces. That's R.R. Pugoy, Troy Rosario, and Ray Parks Jr. Now, along with the likes of Kiefer Ravena, Poy Eram, Christian Stan Hardinger, CJ Perez, and Chapit Aguilar, the team will open its campaign with a home game against 2019 SEA Games silver medalist Thailand. That will be on February 20th. And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.